Ellen. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. We want to welcome you to a terrific Hadassah program, making lovely things with dough, Potchke with Potchke. Kind of reminds me of the lovely things I saw my grandmother making as I was growing up and used to hang around her kitchen. We want to thank everyone for coming. Happy to see you all. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Marcia Simon, and she will get our ball rolling. Marcia?
Hi, everybody. Hi. I want to welcome you all to our afternoon Zoom meeting, first time ever at 4 o'clock. Some of you may know Debbie Braunstein, but if you don't, the word is out that she is a great cook and baker, and she lives here in Valencia Falls. Some of you may have even been lucky enough to have sampled her rogalach. So when I called Debbie, the first question I asked her, after would she be willing to do this for us, was where did she get her love for cooking? And the first thing she said to me was, it calms her. And I understand that. Then she told me that everybody in her family cooked. They were Hungarian, they were great cooks, and that accounts for her love of food. But she really didn't know how to cook until she got married. She said she didn't even know how to boil water, but she needed to learn how to cook. So her mother gave her some recipes. She watched TV cooking shows. Her favorites were The Kitchen and Barefoot Contessa with Ina Garten. And she said she bought 1 million cookbooks, took cooking classes, and eventually ended up writing a cookbook for some children. All of the recipes that they liked were in it. She said she printed 200 copies, gave some out, sold some, made donations to the Heart Foundation and Cancer Care with the profits. And she did the same thing for Hadassah with our cookbook. But she really started baking when she came to Florida because she had more time. And that's what brings us right up to today, because she's going to show us how to Potchke with puff pastry. So I'm going to turn the camera over to Judy and introduce you to Debbie Braunstein. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you. Let me unmute myself. Okay. Hello. Can you see us?
Yes,
We're still seeing your cutting board, Debbie.
Okay, wait, we'll reverse it for a second. Or not. Okay. Still not.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
There you are.
Hi, Debbie. So I'm so happy that you're trying to cook with me or learn from me. And Judy, my conspirator, has my iPad in her hands and will be showing you how to do everything. So the first thing you need to do is, Judy and I always have a glass of wine or a glass of water and the meal in hopes that it comes out. So with that being said, we're going to start with our puff pastry. So those of you that are willing to try to cook with me, take your puff pastry out, cut open the bag, and take out one of your puff pastries because there are 2 in the bag. And the first thing we're going to do is an appetizer. So does anybody need more time? No. Okay. Do you want to put it down or no? Okay, so if you don't put it down, we'll put this over here. Here's the puff pastry. Does everybody have it out that's doing it? I like to roll it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is rolling pin. However, if you don't have a rolling pin, You can always take a bottle of wine and just roll it gently.
Is that bottle open? Off
No.
go.
Don't spill it.
At the end of this section. Just a little bit to square it off. Okay. Then you can put the bottle of wine down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the pesto and we're going to put it right down the middle. This is a great little appetizer for those unexpected moments. If you always have it in the house, you'll never be surprised because there's always something you can make with puff pastry. I happened to make this earlier because I have a little basil plant outside, but you can always buy it at Joseph's or Publix, anywhere. So if you've done that, then you take your sun-dried tomatoes and you put them down the middle. Here we go. By the way, if you hate dried tomatoes, you could use regular tomatoes, little tomatoes, anything you want. Now, what you're going to do is you're just going to spread it out. Spread it out. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Nobody's going to see the inside. Okay. Now, you go from one side. You're going to start to roll just till the middle. This is called making a palmere. And you're going to fold it this way. And when they meet in the middle, you're just going to pull it together and turn it. Guess it's time for wine.
Good idea.
Okay. Does everybody that's doing it have any questions yet?
No.
Okay. Going to take a knife. And I'm going to cut, I guess, about an inch. And you're going to turn them over. There you go.
Wow.
If it comes out, don't worry about it. Just shove it back in. It's really, this
Don't make
is
me
like,
laugh. I'll move the carpet.
this is not stressful.
It
Okay,
looks so pretty.
your oven should be heated to 400 because we're going to put these in as soon as I'm done. Okay, there you go. This is what it looks like. Whoops,
They can see.
just put that. All right, I'm getting my cookie sheet with a piece of parchment. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of cooking spray. I'm going to put them in. About an inch apart, 4 in a row. Okay, there you go. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Depending on your oven, 10 or 15 minutes is all it takes. Okay. Now, we're going to make the second appetizer. For this, I only use half the dough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it in half. Put this on the side. We're still going to use it. All right. Get that wine bottle. Here we go. We're gonna roll it out a little bit. Okay. Don't freak if it's not even, it's okay. Now we're gonna take our cheese. I happen to have Mexican blend in the refrigerator, so that's what I'm gonna use. All right. Sprinkle it on throughout of the parchment paper. You like more cheese, add more cheese. It's fun. Okay, press it down. Bring it down a little bit, and now we're going to fold it over. Press it together. Okay. Now we're going to cut 1-inch strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
These are breadsticks.
These are the breadsticks that are going to come out with dough. I pinch it together so you could see, and then you twist it. There you go. And put it down. Twist it. And put it down. Keep going until you finish them. See, it gets a little messy, so what? That's why I'm working on a board. Don't feel like cleaning my counter. Okay. There we go. And the last one. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick up the extra pieces of cheese, throw it together, roll it up. Okay. Anybody having trouble twisting?
No.
All right. Thank you, Ellen. We're going to put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, who will become your best friend. And we're going to put these in the oven for 10 minutes. So you know, I made some a little earlier, and this is what they come out looking like.
Wow.
I put them in a glass. So if you have a glass of wine, you can have a little cheese stick to go with it. So that's what it will look like. I will take them out and show you what they look like when they're hot. Okay, I'm going to just clean off my board. And I'm going to take this puff pastry and put it into the fridge for a little bit because I don't want it to get too cold, too warm while we make the next thing. We're going to use this for dessert, don't panic. Okay. And now we're going to the main course. Now that's in the oven. You hear my timer going off, remind me. Okay. So we're back to our pastry dough. some people said they don't eat lox. So I actually got some salmon. So I'm gonna make both things to show you how to do both things. And for this, I'm actually going to cut the pastry in half so I could show you both lox and cream cheese. Okay. If you want, you could use your wine bottle again. If not, that's okay too. Here I have cream cheese with chives. I bought it in Famous for those of you that are inquiring. Okay. I just smear it on. You ask me how much? Maybe 2 tablespoons. I washed my hands, I forgot, and lift it. Okay. Now I'm going to put the lox on. All right, just take your lox and spread it on. Another very hard recipe.
With wine, everything would be perfect.
Okay, I used pork, might as
What
well
the hell?
finish it. What the heck, right? So 6, 7 pieces. It's a matter of taste. Okay, now we're going to take the puff pastry and fold it over like a little pocket. And then you're going to take your fork and press it down. Looks like a hot pocket. Whoops. There you go. See, I'm a little messy. All right, we'll put it on top. At least we know what it is. Okay. I sound like the crazy chef. All right, we have to get another cookie sheet. And another piece of parchment paper. And we take it and we put it on the cookie sheet. Now, for those that don't eat salmon, lox, we're gonna do this one with salmon. So I bought some salmon. If you have salmon with the skin on it, I recommend that you pull it off. And how you do that is you just start it. You can take your knife to hold it and pull. Or you can have your fishmonger do it from wherever you buy fish from. Do I need to tell you where to buy fish? Okay, no questions.
Can use the raise hand function if you have a question.
That's number 1.
I'm having trouble. Okay, got it. Got it.
You want to take it out of there?
Debbie, Ellen Weber has a question.
Yes, Ellen.
Hi, Debbie. I was wondering if you like to buy your salmon in a special place, or is Publix good enough?
Public says fine.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to put on for another 5 minutes because my oven wasn't hot enough.
I think you should repeat that. I don't know if they heard you.
I'm going to
The appetizer.
keep the appetizers in for another 5 minutes because I like them a little darker. So I'm going to do the same thing with the cream cheese, but I'm just gonna put it down the middle. Okay. And I'm going to put the salmon in the middle. I have another piece.
It looks gorgeous.
I'm going to take another piece.
Debbie, you always buy that type of salmon, the thick kind, not the.
No, I buy whatever I like the looks of. But I'm going to take the back off again. You should use whatever fish you like. I just happen to like salmon with this particular recipe. See, this one came off really easy. Okay, so we're going to put this like this. Wash my hands again. Now you see why I needed the paper towel. Okay. I want everybody to take a knife and we're going to put slits about every inch. Same thing on the other side. This is so people are impressed with your cooking.
Very fancy.
Very fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Ready.
Braid 1 over
Oh, challah.
and 1 over. 1 over. 1 over. Okay.
Please tell Judy to lower the iPad because we cannot really see what you're doing.
Oh. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, here's your little package. And now you're going to put it on your tray and put it into the oven at 400 for 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven. Okay. So first, let me show you your little cheese snacks. Here they are. You should let them cool for about 5 minutes.
They smell delicious.
And then what I like to do is I like to take a glass, like I showed you, and put them in. They're hot. Okay. Want to taste one? Okay, we have to leave that one out because they're
Too hot.
too hot. But this is what they come out looking like. Okay. So let's take a moment before I pull out the stuff from the oven to see if anybody has a question before I start on my desserts. Does anybody have any to ask me? Okay. I'm going to take this and put it by the stove. And I want to show you what your main course is going to look like when it's done. This is the salmon, and this is the lox.
I could smell them already.
Too bad you're not home, honey. I would drop it off. Because Norman hates salmon.
Oh,
Okay. All right, now we're coming up to our desserts. Not our desserts, our appetizer. All right. Let me show you what they look like. This is what they came out to look like. You
great.
should let them cool for about 5 minutes, but I'm going to show you what it looks like on a plate and let them cool on the plate.
Smells delicious, ladies and gents.
I can smell it all the way up here.
New York.
Look how,
That's
look how
right.
Okay. There you go. So you have your appetizers. You have your main dish. I'm just going to clean up for a second. And I'll take any questions or anything while I'm cleaning up before I make dessert. So if you have anything to add, please do.
Any raised hands? Let's see.
Well, let's ask, how many of you think you could try this so far?
Yeah.
Do delivery.
Tina said yes.
How many of you think it's too hard or too complicated?
Looks easy when you do it.
I taught Judy how to do all these things, so, and she absolutely had no idea how to cook
No idea.
or how to bake.
Had no idea what the kitchen was really for. So
So I think anybody that really wants to do it, could do it. All right, I'm just gonna clean up because I don't want dessert to be mixed with what I just cooked. Okay. Are you ready for dessert?
doing a great job. Really.
All right. The hardest part is coming up.
Oh dear.
Is there anybody who can't have whipped cream? Or that has
Terry,
dairy issues? Thank you.
you're welcome.
No? What a lively crowd.
They're on mute.
What?
They're on mute.
Oh. Do you want to unmute them for a minute? And see if anybody has any questions?
I knew I missed half of it and they are recording it.
Better mute again.
Please try to speak one at a time.
If you'll all rush at once.
They should raise their hand if they want to speak.
Right, hon?
They should.
Okay. Well, we're up to dessert.
My fa-
What I originally was,
Debbie,
yes,
can you send out the recipes, please, when you're finished?
I thought Mark just out the recipe. Yes, I can. But
That would
We're
be
also
great.
making a recording, so hopefully we'll have that available.
Oh, terrific. Thanks.
okay,
Potchke. It's not hard at all. Very easy. Huh?
Takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just have to remember what to do.
not a
there.
problem. Post the recipe. I'm going to show you. And originally I said I
She
was gonna
made
do this.
We're getting a little feedback,
salmon,
Debbie. I think we're going to mute
Yeah, you have to
everybody.
mute
one
everyone.
part,
Yes.
pastry,
Okay, and
and
Debbie,
then
unmute
They haven't
yourself
shut up.
after I do this.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to go? All right, we're just gonna take a piece of puff pastry and cut it into strips. And then we're gonna cut it again. So these are gonna be like mini Napoleons. The reason I didn't do it with the muffin tins, I tried it yesterday and it was really hard. So I figured I'm better off doing it this way. I'm going to take, I'm coming. A sheet. I'm going to, I want to spray the sheet with a little oil. Okay. And we're going to put these little pieces on this sheet. Okay. After you do that, you're going to take a fork. You're going to just push some holes so it doesn't puff up too much when you bake it. We're going to put this in the oven for 10 minutes. Same 400 degrees, so you don't have to take anything out of the oven. Want to show them it's cooking? See, it's in the oven. All right. While we're waiting for that to get ready, I decided that you deserve another dessert. So I have some puff pastry. And since we all like dessert so much, we're going to cut this in thirds. It's almost the same idea as the appetizer, but they're called churros. Or churros, I'm probably not saying it right. And we're going to twist them, same as we did before. Oop, don't like the way that one looks. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to take our other paste, other cookie sheet. And we're going to put them on the cookie sheet. These go into the oven again for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to cook, I decided most people hate to make whipped cream. So I bought Ready Whip. And I'm going to show you a really easy way to make this dessert, which looks like a Napoleon. After you bake them, you could press it down a little bit. That's what the squares are going to be. I'm going to cut them each in half. Okay. We're going to take our whipped cream and put rows. Okay. I personally like raspberries and blackberries, so that's what I chose to do. It's even good for July 4th.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because
Red, white,
red, white, and blue. Uh-oh, we need another one. That looks kind of skimpy. And we're going to put some more whipped cream. This way you don't need any cooking things, and put it together and put it here. Then we're going to do the same thing with this one, except we're going to put the blueberries on the bottom. How cute are these? And we're going to put the raspberries on the top. And we're going to put more whipped cream, because whoever has enough whipped cream. Whoops. See ya. We're going to put this here. Uh-oh. Man overboard. Okay, now I'm going to take a little strip of whipped cream and put the raspberry and a blueberry. Gorgeous. And there you have dessert. So basically, you have your appetizers, your main dish, which is the lox and the salmon, and you have your dessert. We're just waiting for the last dessert to come out of the oven. So at this point,
And the breadsticks.
right,
And the breadsticks.
the breadsticks for the appetizer with the palmiers.
They look like
You
burgers.
have the two different kinds of salmon, and
So
you have the Napoleons. I really want to wait until the dough is cooked for the dessert, the other dessert, which is churros. As you can see, I mixed a half a cup of sugar with some cinnamon, and all you're going to do is roll it in it and put it on a plate. So with that said, let's wait the last 5 minutes till the churros are done. Okay,
Marcia has a question.
yes.
Hi, Debbie. Debbie, a lot of people don't know the proportions, for instance, that you would use when you're making cinnamon and sugar. I usually do it and it's too cinnamony. Is there any formula for that?
I use a half a cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Thank you.
That's it. I mix it
Okay.
together. And if it's left over, I put it in a container and use it when I bake something else. I like to know I have enough.
And my other question is, how long, I mean, I know you keep the puff pastry in the freezer, not in the refrigerator, am I correct?
Right.
How long does it take to defrost usually?
An hour.
And you don't defrost it in the refrigerator, you defrost it at room
No, I-
temperature?
Plus in the refrigerator because it has a lot of butter. So it has to stay really cold.
Okay, so
I mean,
just,
in a rush, you could leave it on the counter, but then if it's rusted, I put it back in the refrigerator, for a little bit.
okay, so you're saying take it out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator for an hour before you start to work with it? Yes? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
I just did the big watch.
Well, whether that light bulb was an indication of it.
It's very hard to hear. I'm going to put powdered sugar and put it on the top of
Older than.
anything else. Okay, let me see if these are done yet. Almost, not quite. I'm going to put some powdered sugar in my little powdered sugar sprinkler because obviously I ran out. So let's try this. Okay. Does everybody know what powdered sugar is compared to regular sugar? Or does anybody have a question about that? Yeah, much better. Looks much prettier. Is there anybody that tried this?
Oh,
I hear somebody saying hello.
Me too.
Did anybody hear someone saying hello?
that's Maxine.
Oh. Okay. You want dessert, Maxine?
Yeah, sure. Where's the green vegetable?
Yeah. Didn't feel like making it.
Okay, and the other thing is,
Oh, you can do spinach and garlic and oil. You could do roasted
Good.
broccoli.
okay, why do you use parchment paper rather than aluminum foil?
Parchment paper doesn't stick, aluminum foil will stick.
Okay, is there a right side or a wrong side to the parchment?
No, no. It's a very forgiving thing. You don't have to wash it. You throw it out the minute you're done with it.
Terrific. This was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Did you try to make it?
No, I'm coming to your house.
Not a problem.
I know, I'll bring the wine.
Do you want wine too?
No, I'll bring it.
Oh, thanks. My husband doesn't eat salmon. I'm sending it home with Judy.
I don't
Marlene Goldman has a question, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. This was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. My question also is about parchment paper. Do you always spray your parchment or sometimes do you use it dry?
No, I mostly use it dry, but for some of these recipes, they recommend that you spray it because it's not such a long period of time to cook it. And if you see the bottom, you want it a little crispy. So that's why I sprayed it. But more than not, I don't. If you look at these, I made them earlier. I didn't spray them when they came out fine.
Came out.
Thank
So,
you.
You're welcome. All right, give me another 4 minutes
4 minutes?
to make the churros, and then that's it. I'm done.
Well,
So, is there, how many of you would make your own whipped cream?
Oh, I would. Me.
If
I
you
would.
don't whipped cream, by the way, you can use pudding. You can make a custard. You know, try to do something that was very easy so that anybody could actually make them.
Is Judy staying for dinner?
No, she's taking her home.
I don't eat salmon.
Her hus-
Oh, too bad.
Pat has a question. Pat Randall?
Yeah. Debbie, you're wonderful and you're doing a great job again, and I'm so happy to see you doing it again. I wanted to ask you, could you use Cool Whip?
Yes, definitely. You could use anything that you want in between. It's just, I thought it was really cute and fun. And if, you don't feel potchkeing, you a fast dessert. So you don't even have to put berries in it. You could take chocolate and drizzle it over it. You could put Nutella in between it, which I was going to do if they come out and they're ready, to show you an alternate ways. But yeah, so these are just about ready. Another minute. Oops. And these are actually ready. So I show you in another 2 minutes. They have to cool down a second, but I'll show you another way to do the oleans. So I am a big fan of Nutella. When I really want something chocolate, I'll just take a spoon and eat this. So I'm going to show you what happens if you do it when it's hot. If you take 2 of the pieces and take a spoonful of Nutella, it's going to melt a little bit. There you go. Then you could take your berries if you want. Put them on. Put the top on, press it down. There you go. There's another dessert. Okay. So I want to show you that these all came out.
I'll bring them.
I'm not gonna make a gazillion desserts because I don't want to eat them, because I'm not a big fan of dessert. However, these are also ready. So I'm taking these out. And this actually you have to do when they're hot.
So it sticks.
That's what I'm gonna do. Actually, gonna cut these in half. They are hot. Okay, ready? Stick them right in here. Just roll them around
It's my favorite.
and put them.
Auntie Anne's, right?
Yeah, they're like pretzels, but they're puff pastry. Multicultural desserts here.
In Mexico.
Okay. Judy's gonna bring these to her mother tomorrow.
Okay.
So she has some good desserts.
If they
Okay,
make it.
if they make it, right. Okay. I want you all to know how quiet my dog is, because she's visiting with my husband in the other room. Okay, here we go. Look at all the things we made out of 2 boxes
That's all.
of puff pastry.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Debbie,
yes.
hi Debbie, it's Ricky Sultan.
Hi.
Hi, this is delightful. I love these recipes. I use the puff pastry just for 2 things, to make potato onion knishes
Yes.
or kasha knishes, but now I'm going to be using it much more. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right, does anybody have any requests for toppings or anything? Because I'm just going to get busy with the Nutella here. All right. Well, we all need some kind of chocolate in our lives, right? This goes with that goes with that. Okay, have to match the tops. And if they don't fit, we put powdered sugar on it. Okay, here we go. Whoa.
Debbie, I was wondering, could you put fluff on top of the Nutella?
Yes, you can. It's very versatile. You could do whatever you want. I like to press them down a little bit, and when they're still warm, you can. So I'm going to leave one plain. And then just take the powdered sugar, sprinkle it over it. And there you go. More
Wow.
dessert. Okay. So I'm just going to pile it up here. Looks like you slaved for hours, doesn't it? All right. Well, you actually don't have to wait for the salmon and the lox to be done, since I already made it and I knew it would take a little longer. But if anybody has anything to ask me, I'd be happy to answer. If not, we're done. Cheers.
Please, because then when I get on my regular ones, it's the setting is going to be wrong. Just leave-
Salmon one. Do you want me to cut it?
You don't own it.
I think everybody really enjoyed this and is getting very hungry. Ellen wanted to say something?
I just want to thank Judy and Debbie. This was absolutely great. And as I said, I could smell it. Okay.
Debbie, I think, Debbie, it's Betty Schultz. You did a fabulous job, both of you. And I'm waiting for your own cooking show on the Cooking Network.
Yes. I'm actually Steve Wesley, your VP resident.
Amazing.
See? Your VP
Anybody else?
resident, Steve Wesley.
Marcia, do you want to add anything for closing?
Debbie, I've enjoyed speaking with you so much, preparing for all this. I know how much you really know about food and cooking. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. I hope we can do it again.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Was super. Was super.
Thank you, Judy.
Terrific.
Well, always.
Very nice.
Milo.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 Bye.